Welcome back, dear students. Now in the previous lecture we are at the classification of the fruits. The fruits has been classified on the basis of number of flowers involved in the formation of the fruit. If the fruit is developed from a single flower or many flowers are involved, so on the basis of which the fruits has been classified. Then the parts of flower involved in the formation of fruit, whether the fruit has been developed from the ovary alone or other floral parts such as calyx, perianth, that are also involved along with the ovary in the formation of the fruit. Then the nature, position and number of ovaries involved in the formation of the fruit, whether the ovary is superior, inferior, number of ovaries. So this is the one of the criteria for classification. Nature of the pericarp, then number of seeds in the fruits. Some fruits are one seeded fruit or single seeded fruits, some are multi seeded fruits. If the fruit possesses single seed, it is single seeded fruits. If the fruit possesses many seeds, such fruits are multi seeded fruits. Then the mode of dehiscence of the fruit. So mode of dehiscence, whether it is dehisces longitudinally or transversely. So this is the mode of dehiscence of the fruit. Now here we are going to study the different types of the fruits. So generally fruits are classified into two major types. One is the true fruits and second one is the false fruit. So that we seen in the previous slide also, in previous lecture also. The fruits that has been developed from ovary alone are known as the true fruits. For example, mango. So the fruits that has been developed from ovary are known as true fruits. The second one type is the false fruits, when other floral parts such as calyx, perianth, peduncle, thalamus are involved along with the ovary in the formation of the fruits, then such fruits are known as false fruits. For example, apple. As you know that the fruits are developed after the process of pollination and fertilization. So during this the ovary grows, it enlarges and develops into the fruit. So the ovary wall or the wall of the ovary becomes the wall of the fruit. So that we seen here. So ovary obviously involved in the formation of the fruit. But when the fruits develop from the ovary alone, such fruits are known as true fruits. And in other case, when other floral parts such as calyx, perianth, peduncle, thalamus are involved along with the ovary in the formation of fruit, then such fruits are known as false fruit. Ovary is involved in both cases, but in the false fruit, other floral parts such as calyx, perianth, peduncle and thalamus are also involved along with the ovary in the formation of fruit, then such fruits are known as false fruit. For example, apple. On the basis of number of flowers from which the fruit has been developed, the fruits are classified into three types: simple fruits, aggregate fruits, and third one is composite or multiple fruits. On the basis of number of flowers that are involved during the fruit formation, there are three types of fruits: simple fruits, aggregate fruits and composite or multiple fruits. So these we are going to study here. So this is the outline of the classification of the fruit on the basis of number of flowers involved in the formation of the fruits. So there are three types of fruits: simple fruit, aggregate fruit and composite fruit. So simple fruits that has been developed from a single flower with single ovary. Number of flower and number of ovary here. So simple fruits that has been developed from single flower with single ovary. Pistils, it is monocarpellary, it possesses single carpel, or polycarpellary, it possesses many carpels, many gynoecium carpels, and the ovary is syncarpous. So carpels are fused, they are united. So this is the simple fruits, for example sunflower. Next one group is the aggregate fruit. So these fruits has been developed from a single flower with many free ovaries. In the first group that we call it as simple fruits, where the fruits has been developed from single flower with single ovary. In case of aggregate fruit, the fruit has been developed from a single flower with many free ovaries. Pistil is polycarpillary. Here also in simple fruit it is monocarpillary or polycarpal, but difference is in simple fruit it is the ovary is syncarpous. In aggregate fruit the ovary is apocarpous, means carpels are free. Syncarpous means carpels are united. So aggregate fruit has been developed from a single flower with many free ovaries, means carpels are free. Pistil is polycarpillary or ovary is polycarpillary. An aggregate of small fruits is known as etario. For example, clematis, michaelia, strawberry, then annona, sitapal. So this is the example of the aggregate fruits. The third one group, it is the composite or multiple fruits. So when the fruits develop from many flowers of a single inflorescence, it has been developed from a many flowers of single inflorescence or complete inflorescence modified into the fruit. So in this case, many flowers of a single inflorescence or a whole inflorescence are involved in the formation of the fruit. Such fruit are called as composite or multiple fruit. For example, fig, jackfruit, pineapple, Morus alba. So in these fruits has been developed from many flowers of a single inflorescence or a complete inflorescence, a whole inflorescence has been modified into the fruit. Such fruits are composite or multiple fruits. So if you see the outline of the classification of the fruits has been classified on the basis of number of flowers and the number of ovaries that has been involved in the formation of the fruit. Simple fruit from single flower with single ovary, aggregate single flower with many ovaries. The difference, another one difference, in simple fruit ovary is syncarpous, in aggregate fruit the ovary is apocarpous. Okay. Composite, it is developed from many flowers of a single inflorescence or it has been developed from a complete or whole inflorescence. So this is the outline of the classification of the fruits on the basis of number of flowers involved in the formation of the fruits. The fruits are classified into three types: simple fruit, aggregate fruit and composite or multiple fruits. Next, so this is the simple fruit. So one by one we are going to study all these types. Simple fruits, these fruits develop from a single flower with a single ovary. Ovary may be simple or syncarpous, it is united, unilocular or multilocular. Here we use term polycarpillary or multilocular, unilocular or multilocular, but obviously it is syncarpous. Pericarp is simple or variously modified. Okay. So on the basis of nature of pericarp, whether it is break open or not, in mature fruits, simple fruits are classified into two subtypes: indehiscent fruits and dehiscent. So we know this dehiscent fruits and indehiscent fruit. In case of indehiscent fruit, the pericarp is dry, it break open and release the seeds. Such fruits are called as dehiscent fruit. While in case of indehiscent fruit, the fruit wall or pericarp does not break open at maturity. Such fruits are indehiscent fruits. So this is the nature of the pericarp in mature fruits, whether it break open or it does not break open. Okay. So there are another two subtypes of the simple fruits: indehiscent fruits and dehiscent fruits. So what are the characteristics of the simple fruits? Simple fruits has been developed from a single flower with a single ovary. The ovary is unilocular or multilocular, it is syncarpous, and the pericarp is simple or variously modified. Okay. Again, the simple fruits are divided into two subtypes on the basis of nature of pericarp in the mature fruits. These are indehiscent fruits and dehiscent fruits. So the first one type we are going to study, that is the indehiscent fruits. So what do you mean by indehiscent fruits? The fruit wall remains unbroken, it does not break open at maturity. The first one type is the dry fruits. In an indehiscent fruit, the fruit wall remains unbroken at maturity, and when the fruit wall is totally dry and intact even after maturity, such fruits are known as dry fruits. So dry fruits are characterized by when the fruit wall is totally dry and intact even after maturity. Such fruits are known as dry fruits. The various types of dry fruits we are going to discuss here. So do you get it? The indehiscent fruits. So in an indehiscent fruit, the fruit wall remains unbroken at maturity. Dry fruits are characterized by when the fruit wall is dry. Dry fruits. Fruit wall is totally dry and intact even after maturity. Such fruits are known as dry fruits. The various types of the dry fruits we are going to study here. The first one type is the acane. It is the type of dry fruit acane. It is small, dry, one-seeded indehiscent fruit developed from superior ovary. So this is the dry fruit because it is the subtype of or the type of dry fruit. It is dry, it is small, one-seeded indehiscent fruit developed from the superior ovary. Fruit wall, that is the pericarp, and seed covering testa are free from each other. So these are the two important characters of the acane. One is it is one-seeded indehiscent fruit developed from superior ovary. Pericarp and testa are free from each other. So here this is the fruit where the pericarp, that is the fruit wall, testa, seed covering, they are free from each other. So this fruit has been developed from a superior ovary which is one-seeded, possesses only a single seed, one-seeded or single-seeded fruit. So this is the acane. For example, mirabilis. So if you see the photograph of Borivia, it is one of the example of the acane. Here this is the single-seeded or one-seeded fruit which is small, dry, develops from a superior ovary. The fruit wall, that is the pericarp, and seed covering testa are free from each other. Okay, so this is the one of the type of dry fruit acane. Got it? Next to this is the Cypsela. So it is dry indehiscent one-seeded fruit formed from inferior bicarpillary ovary. So the difference between the acane and Cypsela, it is found that here it is developed from inferior bicarpillary ovary, while acane fruit that has been developed from superior ovary. Okay, here it is developed from the inferior ovary. Testa and pericarp are separate, that is also seen in the acane. This type of fruit is an important character of family Asteraceae or Compositae, for example sunflower, marigold. So here we can see, if you see the LS of the fruit, the pericarp and testa, that is the seed covering, they are free from each other, they are separate, but this fruit has been developed from the inferior bicarpillary ovary. The fruit type is the Cypsela. So here we can see the fruit of the sunflower. Here this is the seed, the covering, seed covering, and the fruit covering, that is the pericarp, they are separate. Okay, so the type is Cypsela, for example sunflower, marigold. So those plants which belong to the family Asteraceae shows are having Cypsela type of fruit. So it is another one, dry indehiscent one-seeded fruit formed from inferior bicarpillary ovary. Testa and pericarp are separate, and this type of fruit is an important character of family Asteraceae. Okay, Cypsela, this is another type of dry fruit. Next to this is the fleshy fruit. So after dry fruit, the second one type we are going to study, it is the fleshy fruits. All these types are of indehiscent fruits. Its pericarp does not break open, it remains intact. Okay, so in these fruits pericarp is fleshy and may be differentiated into epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. As you know that the pericarp, it is made up of three layers: epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. So fleshy fruits, why it is fleshy? Because its pericarp is fleshy. It is differentiated into epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. In the previous case we see the dry fruits. Why it is dry? Because its pericarp is dry. Here fruits are fleshy because its pericarp is fleshy and may be differentiated into epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. Epicarp is leathery while the mesocarp and endocarp together are fleshy or pulpy. Such fruits after maturity cannot be preserved for a long time. Such fruits are perishable fruits. They are not be preserved for a long period of time. These fruits are further classified into the various types. So what are fleshy fruits? Why they are different from the dry fruits? Because pericarp is fleshy. It is differentiated into epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. Epicarp as usual it is leathery, while mesocarp and endocarp they are fleshy and pulpy. Such fruits after maturity cannot be preserved for a longer period of time. Such fruits are fleshy fruits. For example, the various types of the fleshy fruits. For example, drupe fruit. Example is the coconut, mango, berry, all types of berries, strawberry, gooseberry, raspberry, blackberry, tomato, brinjal, guava, it is a multi-seeded berry. Ashoka tree, it is a single-seeded berry. Fruits of date palm, it is also date palm, khajur म्हणतो आपण, single-seeded berries. Hesperidium, orange, lemon, pepo. So drupe, berry, hesperidium, pepo, pome, these are the types of fleshy fruits. Pepo, the members of cucurbitaceae, watermelon, cucumber, squash, pumpkin, these are comes under pepo type of fruit. Pome, for example, apple, pear. So these are false fruit. These fruits has been developed from the floral parts, other floral parts along with the ori. Such fruits are false fruits. Okay, apple, pear. For example, pome. It is pome because it is fleshy fruit, fleshy indehiscent. So these are the various types of fleshy fruits. So one by one we are going to study the different types of the fleshy fruits. All are indehiscent, means its pericarp does not break open. The first one type is the drupe. It is fleshy indehiscent fruit, generally one-seeded and known as stone fruit, because if you see the seed of this fruit, it's like a stone. So this fruit is also known as stone fruit. It is one-seeded, it was only one seed. Fleshy indehiscent fruit. The central part of the fruit is a single stone which contains the seed. So this is the central part which contains the seed. The seed is single stone, so fruit is also known as stone fruit. The pericarp is distinctly differentiated into the outer epicarp, middle mesocarp, the edible part of the fruit, that is the mesocarp, and the innermost, that is the endocarp, which is hard. So epicarp is distinctly differentiated into the outer epicarp, leathery epicarp, middle fleshy mesocarp, and inner stony woody, that is the endocarp. Okay, so this is the differentiation of the pericarp, that is the fruit one. Sometimes mesocarp is fibrous, for example coconut. Okay, if it is fibrous, then the example is the coconut. So here drupe fruit, we study the example of the mango, where the epicarp, mesocarp, endocarp, epicarp, it is also called as exocarp because it's present at the outside, exo outside, epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp that we seen here. The seed is hard, stony, so this fruit is also called as the stone fruit. For example, mango, the type is the drupe. So mango is a drupe type of fruit because it is one-seeded, indehiscent, fleshy fruit. The pericarp has been differentiated into epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. The edible part, which we call it as a mesocarp, which is present at the middle, epicarp, which is outer, leathery, while the endocarp, which is stony, woody. Okay. Next to this is the berry. So berry is another one type of indehiscent fruit. It is multi-seeded. Drupe is single-seeded. It is multi-seeded or sometimes single-seeded, highly fleshy fruit. Sometimes single-seeded means in some fruits it is single-seeded. Berry, it is multi-seeded, indehiscent, highly fleshy fruit. It is highly perishable, highly fleshy fruit. These fruits develop from polycarpary Syncarpus superior or inferior ori, pericarp with distinct outer leathery epicarp, while mesocarp and endocarp are fused. In drupe fruit, mesocarp and endocarp are separate. Okay, here in berry, mesocarp and endocarp are fused, become massive and pulpy. Okay, placenta also becomes massive and mixes with the pulpy endocarp so that seeds remain scattered in it. So this is the placenta on which the seeds has been arranged. It is massive and it mixes with the pulpy endocarp so that seeds remain scattered. These are the seeds which are scattered in it. Placentation is axial placentation. Here we see that the placentation is axial, where the placenta has been developed on the axis of the fruit or the flower. Okay, axial, or in some plant it is parietal placentation, where the placenta has been developed at the inner wall, at the periphery of the inner wall of the ovary. The placentation is parietal. For example, multi-seeded berries, tomato, brinjal, guava; single-seeded berries, fruits of date palm, ashoka tree. So this is about the berry fruit. So what are the characteristics of the berry fruits? It is indehiscent, multi-seeded, highly fleshy fruits. Here the pericarp, it is differentiated into epicarp, outer leathery epicarp. Mesocarp and endocarp, they are fused, they form a massive or pulpy mass. Here the placenta is also massive, where it get mixed with the pulpy endocarp, so the seeds are scattered in the endocarp. Placentation is axial or parietal. Multi-seeded berries are tomato, brinjal, guava, strawberry. Single-seeded berries are date palms, ashoka. So here this is the berries. Next type is the hesperidium. So it is a fleshy, thick skinned berry. Thick skin, its epicarp is thick with hard and leathery pericarp. It is derived from a polycarpellary multilocular superior ovary. Bulk of this fruit is derived from glandular pulpy hairs formed by the endocarp. So here epicarp, which is leathery, hard, thick skin; endocarp is pulpy, which is mostly derived from glandular pulpy hairs. Seeds are arranged on the axial placenta, for example orange, lemon. So all these are Hesperidium type of fruits, where the placentation is the axial placentation. Placenta develop in on the axial central axis. Epicarp is hard, thick skinned, leathery. The endocarp, which is pulpy because it is made up from the glandular pulpy hairs. The example is Hesperidium, orange, which is most common, orange, lemon, lime. This type of plant possesses Hesperidium type of fruit. Okay. Next is the pepo, which is the characteristic of family Cucurbitaceae. For example, watermelon, cucumber, squash, pumpkin. So it is a berry with a hard, thick skin called the rind. So it having very hard, thick skin called as the rind, that is typically found in the family Cucurbitaceae. So this is the watermelon. We know its outer skin, which is, or its pericarp is very hard. It having a thick skin called as the rind, while the endocarp, it is fleshy. The edible part that we seen, it is the fleshy part. For example, watermelon, the type is the pepo. So watermelon, cucumber, pumpkin, all these are the pepo type of fruits. It is fleshy type of fruit, fleshy indehiscent fruit. Next is the pome fruit. So this fruit, it is the false fruit because it is developed from the thalamus. So it is known as false fruit, in which the ovary is surrounded by the edible fleshy receptacle tissue. That is not actually the part of the pericarp. The actual ovary or core is being usually not edible. So this is the ovary which is not edible. Here is the pericarp. Okay. The skin, it is endocarp, and the middle part, it is the receptacle tissue, apple flesh that we eat, edible part. and the seeds are present inside the core of the ovary. So actual ovary or the core is being usually not edible. It is present at the center, at the innermost portion, which possesses the seed. This is a typical fruit of certain members of family Rosaceae, for example, apple, pear. It is a false fruit because it is developed from the other floral parts such as calyx, perianth, thalamus, peduncle. Here the peduncle has been involved in the formation of the fruit, that is the apple fruit. Okay. Next type is the dehiscent fruits. So these dehiscent fruits has been characterized by the fact where the pericarp breaks open at maturity to liberate the seeds, to release the seeds. So these fruits are dehiscent fruits. These fruits are classified on the basis of mode of dehiscence and position of dehiscing sutures. So sutures, these are the margins that has been developed on the fruit for the release of the seeds. So along the sutures, the fruit dehisces, it break open. So on the basis of mode of dehiscence and the position of dehiscing sutures, the fruit has been classified into different type. First one is the legume, for example, pea, bean, follicle, Calotropis, sterculia, Michaelia, then capsule. Depending on the mode of dehiscence, capsules are again classified into loculicidal, where the seeds remains inside the locule, septicidal, septifragal, and circumscissile. So these are the different types of dehiscent fruits. So one by one we will see these different types of dehiscent fruit. So this is all for today. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.